Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy and welcome to another Foundation Friday for over 50s. In the hot seat today is the new one from Sephora. It's their Best Skin Ever foundation. It retails for $20 for 0.84 ounces. It does come in 51 what looks to be very inclusive shades. This is supposed to be a medium coverage, natural looking foundation with a long wearing anti-pollution formula that hydrates skin for up to 12 hours and is infused with skincare benefits. It comes in a glass bottle and it does have a little pump dispenser under there. This is mainly a water and silicone based foundation, but it includes some titanium dioxide. It has alcohol on the list. I think it's around number 7 or 8, so not so high that it's going to be problematic, but you know, it's in there in case you wanted to know about it. It also contains iron oxides, hyaluronic acid, which is going to be hydrating, red and brown algae extracts, which are also going to be hydrating, and those are the anti-pollution ingredients. It has sunflower seed oil, vitamin E, squalane, and sea salt. This is also fragrance free, and they say that the bottle is made with 30% recycled glass. I picked this up in 4 shades before I found the right match for me, so let's take a look at the swatches. The first one is 17.5N, which is for light skin with neutral undertones. Then is 20N, which is for light to medium skin with neutral undertones. Then is 21.5Y, which is for light to medium skin with yellow undertones, and 25N is the shade I'm wearing today. That's for light to medium skin with neutral undertones. I put it through a multi-day wear test. We'll be doing a flash test, we'll be doing a mask test, we'll be looking at it in all kinds of different light, including bright sunshine, and always a 10-hour wear test each day. So you get a full and thorough review on the foundation here. If you like a thorough foundation review, go ahead and give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more on Hot and Flashy. So a little bit about me. I am 58 years old, and so my skin is on the mature side. I definitely have my fair share of wrinkles. I have enlarged pores. I have a ton of sun damage, but I do like my foundation to make my skin look better and younger than it is. So that's something that we'll definitely be looking for out of you, Best Skin Ever. My skin is combo. I have a slightly oily T-zone. I do have some dry skin, usually around my mouth and temples. The rest of my face is normal. So I've worn this for 2 days already. Today is the 3rd day. Let's hop back to day 1. And then we'll know if this one is a fail or maybe a new holy grail. Now, I do test foundation with sunscreen on because we should all be wearing sunscreen all day, every day. So there's no point for me in testing foundation without sunscreen, because if the foundation doesn't work with my sunscreen, then it doesn't work for me. So I already have on my Elta MD UV Elements SPF 44. I mix it with a little bit of Paula's Choice Super Light SPF 30. For the first day of testing foundation, I don't use any primer with it. I'm going to start with 1 pump of N25 today and dot it around my face and blend it with a damp beauty blender on one side. It blends easily with the sponge and it looks to be a really good shade match. The coverage looks really good so far. It looks like sheer to medium, and the finish looks really pretty. I used about a half a pump of the foundation on the first side, then I used the other half on the other side using the BK Beauty 101 brush to blend it in. It goes on well with the brush too, and the coverage looks the same on both sides. 1 pump was enough for my face and neck, and it gave me sheer to medium coverage. They both blended out really smoothly, really easily. You know, it's evened out my skin tone. It makes my skin look nice. It's got a little bit of a glow to it. It's not got a super hard shine, so it's not super accentuating pores and texture. I probably will just powder it a little bit in my T-zone, but overall I think it looks really pretty. The only problem area is the pores by the side of my nose. On both sides it kind of skipped over those a little bit, so you know, I'm just gonna have to rub a little more in there just to make sure that it really fills those pores, but it didn't skip over the pores on my cheeks or the wrinkled areas or anything. Everywhere else it looked really nice. The finish is natural. It's not too shiny, so it's not accentuating pores and texture, and it's not too matte, so it doesn't look dry and cakey. And it evens out the skin tone well without looking like makeup. It looks lightweight and skin-like, and it feels really comfortable. I also tried a new concealer today because I am on the hunt since my favorite concealer is being discontinued or reformulated. Today I'm using Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Concealer. It went on a little patchy. It did offer some coverage though, so my under eyes do look better, brighter. It definitely covered up the like blue shadows that I have under there. It looks all right. Just not blended completely perfectly. And I went ahead and set my under eyes and my T-zone with my Honest Beauty Invisible Blurring Powder. With the rest of my makeup on, I liked how it looked. It played well with other products. It was starting to settle into my smile lines a little bit already, but it didn't seem to be settling into my forehead wrinkles or my crow's feet. Didn't have much going on that day. I was editing a video. My daughter was visiting. I asked her what she thought of the makeup. She actually thought it looked really, really nice, so I was really happy to hear that because, you know, she's young and has those eagle eyes and zooms in on everything. So I came back to the camera after 5 hours to check in on it, and I thought it looked almost just applied with very few signs of wear. I was really, really happy with how it looked at the 5-hour check-in. The finish had stayed the same. It didn't get any shinier, and it also felt comfortable and not drying to wear. There was just the slightest wear showing on my nose around the edges of my nostrils, but otherwise it stayed put and was looking really nice and really natural. Not happy with the concealer though. The concealer does not look pretty for something that was supposed to give me 24-hour coverage. It really isn't. You can see my little blueness showing through there, and I think that my under eyes look a little bit cracked and just a little bit kind of dry and cakey. So then I came back again at the 10-hour check-in, and I thought it still looked pretty darn good. It had promised 12 hours of hydration and long wear. It was looking a little thin on my cheeks and chin, but from a distance, it still looked really, really good. I hadn't touched it up or powdered it at all that day, and it hadn't gotten shiny. It didn't start sliding around my face like so many other foundations do. And just as a side note, I often get questions about what I was wearing or what kind of makeup I had on. That will all be noted in the info box below the video, so anything that you see on me during the entire 3 days of testing this, you can find links to in the information box below the video. So always check the info box. Lots of good stuff down there. For day 2, I wanted to see if I could get it to last a little bit longer on the fronts of my cheeks and like around my nose. So I put on my favorite primer, which really smooths my skin, and I thought, oh boy, these two are going to be perfect together. The primer I used is Beauty Blender, the Leveler Primer. This is my holy grail. Every foundation I've tried it with so far, it makes it look better, it makes it last longer, it fills in my pores, and it mattifies my skin, and it just looks great. I use my fingers to apply the foundation on one side of my face, and this foundation just does not go on well with the fingers. There were streaks everywhere, and it was just very uneven. I didn't really like the streakiness, so I decided to pounce over it with a slightly damp beauty blender and smooth it out. And that seemed to work pretty well for smoothing out the streaks, but it also seemed to remove the foundation from the areas where I had put the primer. Okay, I think this one actually went on better yesterday without the primer. It's kind of sitting funky on top of the primer, so not sure this is the best combination. Yeah, so I'm getting really sheer coverage over here where the primer is and over here. Especially with the sponge, the fingers, I got better coverage, I think. Oh yeah, there's hardly any coverage on there, like it doesn't stick to the primer very well. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm going to try to build it up a little. Let's just try to salvage this. So, okay, not a good one to use with like kind of silicone-y primers. I feel like where I didn't put the primer, you know, like over here and over here, it looks nice like it did yesterday, but right on the primer, it just looks a little funky. Today I was trying the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer, and the concealer went on really smoothly. I put it on one side with a sponge and the other side with my fingers, and it went on completely differently on both sides. Like the sponge side was beautiful, perfect coverage, really smooth, looked awesome. But on the finger side, it just didn't blend well at all. It was like chunky and weird looking. Overall, the foundation looked really smooth and really nice. Up close, I did notice that it was settling into my wrinkles more than it had the day before because of the primer, especially like up on my forehead where it hadn't settled the day before. So I had lots of errands to run, so I did a mask test. Was in and out of the car, in and out of stores. I'd say I wore a mask for about an hour total that day. At the 5-hour check-in, it wasn't wearing as well as it had the day before, mainly because of the primer. From a distance, it looked fine, but up close, it wasn't great. You can see up here where it settled in my wrinkles. And then here where it's like wearing off and sliding around. More worn off on my nose today. I did have a mask on, and you know, so you can definitely see where the mask was rubbing right there, but it's not really making big, large mask marks anywhere else, so it doesn't look terrible. Definitely getting some creasing here. And just weird wear. I mean, but again, it's because of the primer. It's not because, I mean, this is not how the foundation wore yesterday. So, oh, and let's take a look at the concealer as well while we're here. Can you see the little creases there? A little worn off on both sides already. I came back to the camera at 10 hours, and I gotta say, there really wasn't much to report. It hadn't changed much from the 5-hour check-in to the 10-hour check-in. All right, so day 3 is today. I didn't use any primer with it today. I learned my lesson from that. I would like to try it with some other primers in the future, but I'm not even sure that it really needs it. Like, I feel like the finish is so nice that it doesn't really accentuate my pores and texture, so it doesn't really need like a pore filling primer because it just is a nice looking foundation. I kind of like it. I used more today to see if I could build it up. So I think I used close to 2 pumps to do like my face and a little bit down my neck. And it definitely is buildable. I definitely have more solid coverage on it today. It's more of a solid medium than like a sheer to medium today. I applied it with a sponge today. I think I like how it goes on best with a sponge. I set my T-zone with IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder. And then I gave the whole thing a spritz of Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This helps to increase the wear time of most foundations, so I'm hoping to get like a good solid 8 to 10 hours in today. Anyway, really liking how it looks again today. Very happy with it. I just feel like it's so skin-like and so youthful looking that even though it is settling in my smile lines again today, I wish I could get it to not do that, but it is a settler, you guys. It doesn't settle in all the wrinkles, like it's not my crow's feet, it's not my forehead wrinkles, it's just like this one here, which is my most dynamic wrinkle because, this is what I do all day. So I guess we can't help that, but it doesn't make it look horrible, It's not like creased and cracked and making me look older, and it's not drawing attention to that. So let me just show you up close, and you can be the judge of that. You can decide if it's horrible or not, or if you would wear it. Let me just mention the concealer that I'm wearing today because we're probably going to take a look at that up close. It is the Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy. This is the new one that's supposed to be more hydrating. I've been wearing it for a couple of weeks. I think I like it. There's still nothing that I've found that's as good as my Mackie Complete, but this, as I said, probably discontinued. This is like 2 pumps of the foundation built up. I just think it looks so pretty, so natural, so skin-like. I am kind of really digging this one, you guys. I feel like it could be my new go-to like everyday foundation. Anyway, where it's really like settling is right here. You see right in there? Oh, it just settles right in there. All right, now we do have to do the flash photography test, so let me just go out to the darkened room and take a flash pic. I mean, it's a point blank flash, so it is definitely like bouncing off the high points of my face, but I don't look completely blown out and white. It's not giving me a bunch of flashback. All right, let me grab my vlogging cam. We will walk around the house. We will test it in overhead, yucky, yellowy kitchen light. We'll go by a window to see what it looks like inside, but with natural light, and then we will go out into the bright, bright sun. Sephora Best Skin Ever Foundation in overhead kitchen light. Sephora Best Skin Ever in window light. Show you what the sky looks like. Kind of overcast today, but it looks like there's a few breaks in the clouds. Might be able to get a reasonable sunny break. Oh, I feel it getting brighter. We're in a blue spot. Hi, it's 10 hours later. I just wanted to come back in the foundation today to let you see how it looked with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray to help it along. So I actually had to go out and run some errands this evening, so I had a mask on for about an hour, and it looks really good still. So I really liked the application today. I liked the finish today. I liked building it up today. I think it looked really good. Hung out with my daughter. She said it was top notch. She really liked it. So I'm probably looking at like 10.5 hours, something like that. And it's definitely not even worn off at all. So this would definitely wear a good, 12 or so hours with no primer though. That's the key. Oh my gosh, actual success with a reasonably priced foundation. I thought it looked really good in all three lighting scenarios. I just think this looks so nice, and I love the finish on it. The finish on this one is the thing for me. It looks skin-like, it looks natural, it doesn't accentuate pores and texture, but it's not like dry and cakey and masky. I mean, it is just like, oh gosh, so beautiful, and in 51 shades. Might even be able to find a shade match easily. So let us go ahead and go over the pros and cons on this one. On the pros side are the skin-like natural soft satin finish. I just love it. I think it looks so beautiful, so youthful. This is making me look better than I am. I'm going to put long wearing in the column here because I do think it is really nice and long wearing. It doesn't settle into pores. It's easy to apply. It dries and sets, and it feels really nice on the skin. It's comfortable. It's hydrating. I think if you try it, you'll really like it. The only con that I'm going to put in here is that it settles into some wrinkles sometimes. I mean, if you use a primer under it that it doesn't like, it will definitely settle more into the wrinkles, and it will look bad in general. It'll just look weird and flaky and drier and yucky, but so don't use primer with it. The settling in the wrinkles, I gotta say, is very, very minor, and it's not a deal breaker for me on this one. It's on the cons list, but I think you could try it and you could like it in spite of the settling. I'm feeling really holy graily about this one. Like, I feel like my skin looks so much smoother in this than it does in one of my current holy grails. Do I dare say it? The Estee Lauder Futurist. I kind of like it better than the Futurist. I think it looks better on my skin. Like, in order to get this to work, I have to have the primer under it because it really is much more of a luminous finish. And I can't get a color match in this. If you really like the finish on the Estee Lauder Futurist that's not too luminous for you, then definitely stick with those. But if you like something that's not quite that luminous, then I would definitely give this one a try. I like it that you can wear it sheer, you can build it up. It's so skin-like. It definitely makes your skin look younger and better than it is. And I think that's what we're all looking for. And this does it. So highly recommend. So that is it for today's Foundation Friday for over 50s. Again, if you found the video helpful and informative, go ahead and give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As always, I thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.